Dave defeated the Peninsula Stadium. Just give us your overall assessment of this afternoon.
We got what we deserved from the game, nothing. I say, quick to praise our lads if we've come away with, I suppose, an unjust result. We didn't deserve anything from the game, and that obviously brings disappointment, anger and all those emotions that you don't want to feel on a Saturday afternoon.
I just want to go back to the beginning of the afternoon. 3 changes from last Saturday and looked like a change of system as well. What was the thinking behind that? I know we had injuries as well.
Yeah, you sort of dictated to it a little bit. I don't think some players have done themselves huge favours in their performances, certainly away from home. Ideally Moles would have played instead of Regan, and we wanted to be pretty offensive in terms of where we thought Joe and Moles could cause them problems. That was obviously taken away in terms of the decision we had there, but we ideally wanted to stick with that shape. In saying that, we were forced into a change and changed our shape within sort of 15 minutes to try and get a foothold in the game. I thought we knew how the game potentially would pan out, and we knew that we would need to drop on second balls in order to create opportunities for ourselves. But we did that, but we're absolutely toothless in the final third of the pitch, and didn't pose many, if any, problems.
You talk about that change in the first half. Obviously, Zane went off, Mark Shelton came on. Was that change an injury to Zane? Or?
Yeah, a little niggle that he felt. So we'll see how he is. Listen, that's not an excuse. It worked probably at the time for us because it allowed us to change our shape with better or personnel that's more suited to the positions we wanted them to play in. Which again, I thought for the back end, although we didn't create opportunities, certainly after the first 15 minutes of the first half, we were a lot more in the game, if you like. But like I say, in terms of the top end of the pitch, nowhere near good enough, and that's an issue for us.
You made your change at half time, Will off, Mike on. What was the thinking behind that change, just to get the ball held up a bit more?
It wasn't very good. Simple as that. I'm not going to hide behind what. Again, in terms of the top end of the pitch, I look at people being a nuisance, a pest, chasing lost causes, being a handful. There were none of them, and that can't continue. Young player, we'll show him bits of what we need from him, but he has to take on board that. That's it. Listen, I'm not saying it's not a difficult role, but he needs to provide more than what he did in the first half. But I'm not going to sit and allow games to pass us by. Again, probably lucky that he got to half time, to be fair, but he'll learn from it. He'll have to learn from it, otherwise his career becomes shortened and not at the level he'll want to play at.
Did you feel Mike made a bit of a difference coming on, holding the ball up a little bit more?
A bit of a difference, I suppose. Again, with what I want and what we need from him, nowhere near enough. Spoke to him again, intelligent lad. Spoke to him about where he needs to be on the pitch and what we need him to do, and he has a habit of coming towards the ball, and every time he comes to the ball ends up in the opposition's possession, and if he persists in doing that, then he'll find himself in the position he was at the start of the game. You need to recognise what threats you are within our team, and within the most teams. Goals are scored in certain areas. If you're a centre forward and you're not putting yourself in them areas, then you're going to have a big problem, or you must have to be very, very good. It's not a difficult game. This is a step up in levels for us from last year, but no, it's not rocket science. We had people last year that put themselves in the area when the ball arrived in the area. At the minute, nowhere near. And that's culminating with us not scoring a goal, certainly away from home, for an awful long time. And that, like I say, that needs to change within the personnel we've got, because there aren't many free agents out there that are available and are of the level and can solve a problem for us. Or come January, there has to be changes.
I was just about to mention that. You say about putting the ball in the back of the net. The only obviously away game we've scored in is Barrow, and is, as you say, is the quick fix bringing someone in, or is it teaching, as you say, Mike, Will, Culls, Moles, whoever it is, to be in the right positions at the right time?
The quick fix is putting yourself in the right area when the ball's in there. Again, it's not it's not a real difficult scenario. Look, their 2 goals are scored from the width of the goal or the width of the 6-yard line between 3 and 18 yards out. That's where goals are scored. The amount of times you put the ball in there with the amount of quality and the bodies you have in there, if you do that on a more regular basis, more frequent basis, the probability of scoring, the probability of having opportunities to score are increased. We didn't do that today. Like I say, I can look back and go, Stevenage away, we did it really well and missed chances. Tranmere away, we missed chances. We put the ball, or we didn't get bodies in there enough to make the most of the situations we have. We haven't done that today, and that then becomes the bigger issue.
Joe Gray obviously came off towards, well, I suppose, in the middle of the second half. Was an injury picked up there? No.
Listen, with Joe and with Gav, Joe's had 30 minutes and now he's had 60 minutes. He's obviously cramping up. From our perspective, they're the 2 big positives. Well, the only positives, not the 2 big positives. The only positive, Gav gets 30 minutes and that will hopefully no reaction, and Joe gets 60 minutes and hopefully no reaction, because they're going to be important players for us, especially with creation and scoring of goals at the top end of the pitch. So we've got to get those 2 up to speed as quickly as possible. Like I say, that's the one positive to come out of the game now. Hopefully there's no adverse reactions to what they've just done, and we see how they are on Monday, and potentially can we increase those minutes on Tuesday. But what we can't afford to do is chuck them in and overload them and lose them as quickly as they've got back.
You mentioned there, obviously Tuesday night we go away to Bradford. Is it almost a good thing that it's a quick turnaround to fix what's happened today?
I'm not sure. Listen, it's a great game to play in. That's what I know for certain. A game that we'll, like I say, look forward to. Again, our supporters will travel in their numbers, and we need to do, like I say, do more away from home. And Tuesday gives us the next opportunity to do that. Granted, it's a tough game, but I'm going in feeling any different after today than what I would have coming into today's game. We'll go there to try and win, but in order to give ourselves a chance of winning, we've got to be miles better than we were today.
Just finally, 1,019 Puris behind the goal, the best away attendance in League 2. Obviously, I'm guessing over this weekend. Yeah, I'm guessing you have a huge thank you message for them, and obviously, I think you said they'll travel in their numbers Bradford Tuesday night. Yeah, they will, but I'm sick of sort of saying it really and being stood here in the fact of, again, thanking our supporters that have travelled. Like I say, in the main, we've given them not points to go home happy with, but performances that have been up to what we expect. Today wasn't. So again, I can apologise for that. Players need to show more. I said it off time. Listen, that's an advantage that we have being here today in terms of almost a home crowd, if you like. Pointless having a home crowd if you give them nothing to shout about. And we gave them nothing to shout about for the first 45 minutes and minimal to shout about in the second 45 minutes. So they've travelled and got behind us, and we've not used them to our advantage by making sure they stay in the game. And from my perspective, that's, like I say, not acceptable, and has to change. Dave, thanks very much.
Cheers, thank you.